What happened? What does this happen?
I don't
Huh?
know.
I click all the links.
Dude, the things we do for fan.
Things we do for fans.
And
Dude, it's 5 a.m.
Good
it's
morning.
5 a.m. where I'm at.
Reed looks like he's about to go into space.
Yeah,
Doesn't he? Dude, it's the same color. It's
yeah.
and
It's like
he's-
weird,
the
like
way-
fisheye kinda. It's like
yeah,
he's
the way he's set up with his AirPods, even the sound right now is very I'm about to go to space vibes.
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco.
Are you doing this on your phone right now?
I'm doing it on my iPad. It's the first time trying it out. The internet's good here and everything else, so I feel set.
Nice.
I gotta admit, the alarm went off and I know it's not
You were
5
like,
a.m.
shit.
I know. Dude, honestly, there was a second where I thought I
You were
slept
you were
through
gonna
it.
bail. No, you were gonna bail. You were like, guys,
No, I'd never bail, dude. Come on.
something came up.
I'm a team
mean,
player.
And what came up is me not wanting to get up. Like, I'm good.
I felt pretty good about it because I'm not fully adjusted to the West Coast. So,
Yeah.
I just
Dude,
got in yesterday. So I was waking up a bunch before even getting up
I
ultimately
was
at
about to
4:30 my
say
time.
when I fly to the West Coast, I love it because you'll wake up like super early and be so rested, and then you get like you feel like your day's way longer, which
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you go to sleep. You go to sleep at 7 p.m. and then you wake up at like.
Well,
Reed, you're gonna get used.
because
You're gonna get used to it by the time you leave, and then you're gonna get home and
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be
not
rough.
that bad. I feel like a
the
time
older you
change.
get, the harder it gets. But
it's funny.
I mean,
You fly back, and I fly there on Friday. Well, not San
wait, are you
Francisco,
coming to
but-
San Fran or is it LA?
No, I'm going
you
to
said?
LA. Yeah.
Okay.
LA. We have a show in LA.
Nice. What do you?
What is it?
Where are you playing, Ben?
Just like heaven. It's like a pretty hip festival in LA.
Of course it is.
Like Vampire Weekend's headlining. Like Riley
Damn.
Kiley's playing.
Ben, what's it
Are
feel
they
like to be in
headlining-
an actual cool band? That's so sick.
I'm sure I'll have plenty to talk about on
Hey,
the next.
I was about to do this, and I just thought of it because I was about to open this can, right? And I was like, oh, I got to do it quiet. But then it made me think about this, and this is so funny. On that entire tour that we were just on, during our intro, we have this like intro before we walk out and the lights are going over. And I think it was probably like the third show. Maddie would open one of his like sparkling waters and he would literally do it. And he did it one night and then he did it every single night at the quietest part. Sometimes it'd be like you could barely hear it. And the dude, sometimes it would be so loud in the front of house that it's like zero mistaking what it was. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'd be like, what was that? Or like it would like throw you off. But dude,
That's
he
really
started
funny.
doing it, and then it just became funnier and funnier because he used to do it where he'd try and sneak it in there where you couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? It'd be on the loud part, and we'd all laugh. But then he started doing it as loud as he possibly could in the quiet parts. So it'd just be this huge can.
That's
Dude,
so
you used
funny.
to crack the NAs on here.
I'm
kinda
drinking
miss that
Waterloo.
too.
It's still
I know.
NAs. Oh, you mean NA
I
beers at like 8 in the
love
morning?
Waterloo.
I love
Waterloo is
Waterloo's
the best.
There's
My
just like
favorite
so.
Spindrift.
What's
good
this
too.
thing now where like the Guy Fieri released like a bunch of flavors and like people are just like not into it, but I don't know. TJ said that they're pretty good.
I love
so.
Guy Fieri. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I actually really
whatever he's
like
doing.
him.
I'm in.
You
I-
yeah,
he rules.
seriously, he rules.
does
man.
rule.
Let's just put it out there.
Dude,
Guy
he's
Fieri's.
always hyped. He's
we
always
gotta get him on here, dude. He,
He
probably
does a
likes
bunch-
drummers, dude.
He probably
He
does.
has a lot of
He-
charity.
I was
He's
about to say
apparently a very
hugely
generous
involved with
guy.
Special
Yeah.
Olympics. He does a bunch
Yeah.
of cool stuff, which I always thought was really
Yeah.
cool.
Divers, dives,
Drivers, and drivers.
dive,
He, like, props
divers.
up small businesses, and it's
Yeah, he's a good dude.
it's cool.
I like him.
He,
Let's get
he
him
has
on
a-
here.
He has a
Flavortown.
chicken spot. He's got a chicken spot in downtown Disney. Apparently, it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good. Never been. Anyways,
I think
yeah.
he's at. I think he's at the spot where he could throw his name on like any restaurant. People are like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? He's just like Guy Fieri's spot, and you're like, okay.
It's kind of crazy. Like, he has a new show now where like chefs battle chefs and stuff, and it's like this bracket thing, whatever. And he's pretty
Classic.
funny, man. He's like,
Yeah.
I think he just like leaned so hard into it that
Into
like
his like thing.
yeah, his thing. So it's like he's like can't argue it.
Is
you
he
know?
like inside with his like glasses still on his head, like he's about to walk outside at any moment? That's the kind of stuff I love. He just looks like he's just ready at all times.
I'm kind of jealous of people that can do that and get away with it.
I think anybody could do it. It's just you got to own it.
I feel like I get away with a lot of dumb shit.
What do you think the dumbest thing you get away with?
More than I could.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do you mean? Like what I do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely. I mean, it's no secret that I love like I don't know, just accessories like jewelry and rings and hats and glasses. Like the more shit I got on me, the better. Like for me, like if I got extra things, it's like that's when I feel the most comfortable. But yeah, I mean, I'll rock. I feel like there's a time and a place for that stuff, but I'll still rock I'll try and push it as far as I can go, even in like meetings, you know what I mean? Like if I'm like going to meet someone for like anything outside of, I don't know,
is it like a power move?
I don't know. I think for me, it's a confident thing. It's
That's
like,
cool.
I feel, and I've said this before, I truly can't explain it. There's probably something like a therapist could explain, but I feel more.
Maybe a music therapist like Ben's sister.
I mean, it's okay. So what I was going to say was usually the further I push it or the further I know that people are going to be like, what the fuck, is usually when I'm the most comfortable and the most at peace and like and the most confident. Like if I try and dumb down or like, I'm just going to look nice and I'm going to I'm going to, make my hair look whatever. I'm going to wear this button up that kind of like, it makes me look more pedestrian, if you will, because I'm not going to say normal because personal style is whatever. I feel way less comfortable, way less confident, way less all of the things. So if even in a meeting that I know people don't even know if I'm in a band or if they do, like, it's not that I'm like, oh, I always look like the like rocker look where it's like I'm going to go to a meeting and wearing like, skin tight pants and a leather jacket. But anyway, my point is like, I just feel comfortable when I have those elements on me and like, I don't know.
Well, I got a question. So it's the same. I was actually thinking about this the other day. This is funny. We're talking about this. When you like push your own style a little further than you're used to, like it's kind of a weird feeling when you step out into the world and you're like, I'm going so
out like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's to me is my sweet spot where I'm like, oh, can I pull this off? I'm going to do it. Like, I'm literally like, even if I know, again, there's a fine line to me about like if people are gonna like give you the like what the hell is he wearing?
Yeah.
I kind of love that. Especially I used to be self-conscious about it, like when I'd be like, I want to wear tight jeans and I want to be, and I'd come home to Tampa, like go to Starbucks or whatever and get like all the looks when it was not okay, quote unquote, to wear tight jeans. You know what I mean? Like I would get, and I remember feeling not good, But now I'm like, the more you kind of look annoyed that I look like I'm stoked on what I'm wearing, the better it is for me. Like want, you know what I mean? Like I want you to be bummed because you are.
It's funny
like,
it went the other direction though.
I don't know how to explain it.
I know, but it went the girls' jeans to the most baggy clothes ever. It's like almost the opposite side of the spectrum. No, I'm talking about in general. Like, I remember like early 2000s. Like, dude, you couldn't find tight enough jeans.
No. I mean, that's what we all wore. Yeah. I mean, I wore girl jeans. Right. I would go. That is like how I would shop for pants, and it's like. But what's funny is right before that, I was wearing.
Dude, so was
super into baggy stuff. Like I went from like baggy, like literal Jinkos. Like I had a pair of Jinkos. I had a pair of pipes that I got at the thrift store. Do you remember pipes? And then I went from like that to insanely tight, like sprayed on, like the crotch is like 5 inches to where it's like you're wearing your pants so low, like it's like, you're right, days. Probably like 3 inches. But anyway, it's just funny. And then now, like I'm full back. I can't even wear anything tight. Like even a suit, I'm like, it needs to be like 90s cut for me, dude. Like,
the funny thing about the tight jeans now is you have guys that used to want to beat you up because you were wearing tight jeans now are wearing
Yep, that are,
Yeah.
the exact same
Dude.
thing.
Yep.
I think that is the funniest
This is-
thing. I love we're 10 minutes in. Dude, this is the best. I actually forget that we're recording all the
I
time.
know, but this
just
is a
think I'm
good
talking
topic
to you
because
guys.
it's like you think about it. You are right. It's back. It's back. But it's also
Well,
funny because it's
because-
like a lot of hip hop guys are
Well,
like wearing like super tight pants. Yeah.
tight pants. Yeah. I mean, I remember I think Wiz Khalifa brings that up all the time. Like, I read an interview where he was like, I was the first one, like, dude in hip hop to rock like skinny pants. Like, and he's like, I made it okay. Like, he was like, he wants the credit because he's like, back in the, but it is true. Like, in Reed, I think about that all the time. Like, when we would wear tight pants or whatever, the looks that we would get from like
Yes.
the average bro
Yeah.
dude that was like, or
They would
like
come up and
angry.
so mad.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you could do that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They would like talk shit. And it's like now these dumb dumbs are wearing like sprayed on whatever pants with like
Yeah.
those dumb boots.
And then I'm like, did I
Get
look like
over
that? I was like,
But like, it's
shoot.
just funny. Yeah. You're like, oh man. But it is funny. Full circle. I think a lot of that's changed with the internet. Social medias for sure made it like I like can't go find jeans now anywhere unless I'm like specifically.
I know, but you
Like, I know
follow
what
the
I'm
trend
doing
though, where
because
it's like
back
you
in the
look at like
day-
stores like I guess a good barometer is like I mean it's not, but it is like Urban Outfitters and stuff where you're like
Urban
Yeah,
Outfitters.
you're like-
People
you're like,
Tobacco
still
baggy.
go there.
I
that
mean
kind of
I
the
think
place?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For, like, the
I mean,
20-year-olds,
Well, dude,
Like,
we're
is
like
that
we're like
still-
40, dude. We're you know
I
what I
know.
mean? We're old, so it's like I don't really know.
we're knocking on
Yo,
the
imagine
we're
we
knocking on the
40
door.
in
Yeah.
our 40s we
It's
go
fu-
back to girls' jeans. It's just
And not even tight jeans specifically. Also, girl jeans was such a funny
Just
term because it is
tight
like
jeans,
they're
yeah.
just
Yeah.
jeans. Like now it's funny because it's like the tight. I mean, what makes if they're tight, they're for
Yeah.
women. Like it's the funniest thing. Also, the sizing back in the day for women was very confusing as well. Like ours is based on like 32, whatever, 32, 34. That's like and then women was just like 0,
Yeah, it's so
double
weird.
0,
Yeah,
that
1,
is-
2, 3.
yeah, you're
and it's like,
right.
huh? Now I don't think they do that. Now I don't think, because I remember people would be like, what size jeans you are? And I'm like, I know what size pants I am in women's. Like, I'd be like, I'm a 3 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, now I think it's back. Like, the way they do sizing is across the board. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
it's
all
true though.
based on
That's
instinct.
actually funny that you bring up the just being self-conscious. It's like it's crazy how heavy that is, you know. And not to get heavy, I'm just saying it's
It
like
is.
you know you think about
I
it. It's
mean,
like a lot of the times it's just you thinking it, and you're not, you know, no one else cares.
Of course. I mean, dude, I read
Because
such a
if you
good
think
quote
about it, it's like, you
this
know,
morning.
like a lot of things in life, it's you in your head. It doesn't really matter. I mean, no one's going to, you know, you think about those things where like, I saw a funny meme where like somebody says something to somebody ordering something, and then it's like, it shows them throughout the day just thinking about messing up ordering the thing. And they're like so self-conscious about it. I mean, people do that all the
Yes.
time. I mean, I do that, but you know.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, the quote I read this morning, because I'm
You're
a
a big quote guy,
like,
yeah.
stoic, like Marcus. Well, like a big quote guy. Marcus Aurelius is
yeah, you're
like
going way back.
the dude.
Yeah, you are. You're going deep.
I mean, he's it, dude. Stoicism.
My
yeah,
boy
I mean,
is
that's
stoic.
to me. It's like
My boy is
it's
stoic.
a big part.
Yep.
Big part of my life. My boy, dude. Have you ever got into it? Have you
I
ever
gotta be
like
honest
deep
with you, I
dove into
haven't.
stoicism and stuff?
I probably would enjoy it, but I just
I
haven't.
have.
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah. All right,
You
start me
would.
off. Start
You
me off,
would.
dude.
Marcus Aurelius'
give me my
stuff is-
first one.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
it made me think of this because the way you said that, your mind, we suffer more in imagination
Definitely.
than in reality. And I think that is like, and I think this is a good one too. Today I escaped anxiety, or no, I discarded it because it was within me in my own perceptions, not
Good
outside.
stuff.
And it's like such a good quote because it's like that was a big part of me, you know, getting to this spot. I think when I was younger is because it's like, even though I have the same kind of mentality that I do now, I was more stressed about that. You know what I mean? I'd have to think through like, oh my gosh, what if someone says something this, or if I get, you know, there's just so much like anxiety and fear based in it. And I think that goes back to also like in your head, there's more suffering in your head. Like you just play it up and you're like, oh my gosh. But, and again, that still will happen. Like with anything, like you'll style wise, or you'll play drum, whatever, you'll do something and someone's going to have a comment and someone's going to say something. You got to figure out how to like navigate that. But I think for me, doing this sounds, but doing exactly what I want to do, I always feel more peaceful. But it's true. Like if I'm like, do I want to wear this or try this? And when I do, and I like gotta go for it, I'm instantly more like calm and peaceful than if I don't. And I also stress about it the whole time, So again, there's always the easier said than done kind of thing.
A lot of stuff is,
but
anyway. I was thinking about it too, where piggybacking on that, speaking of drumming and comparing yourself and social media, and we talked about it before in here, but it is toxic. It's toxic to allow yourself to just like compare yourself to somebody else, because at the end of the day, I think you want to, I mean, me personally, I want to be more unique than, be like another, like not cookie cutter, but just like another thing that just like is like 100 other things. You know what I mean? It's tough though, because like you do get in your head. I mean, sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, dude, I suck, dude. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But I'm being honest. It's like it definitely happens, and like
of course, dude.
And even I'm just saying, even at the end of the day, it's tough to pull yourself out of it. But that's a good reminder, Nate, of like you just got to keep yourself.
Teddy Roosevelt said it best. Comparison is the thief of joy. So
wild. It's a it's a heavy time to be like lately having the conversations about social media lately too, where it's just so dark. Like it isn't in the surface level technically. I mean, it can be, but when you go deeper into social media, it's just so toxic and like, it's so bad.
It's so bad, dude. And it's like, I mean, not that we're going to be, so unique.
No, I know, yeah.
How bad it is, but it is like I do think that like obviously that's the takeaway. That like, you know what I mean? Like I think everyone's realizing, but you're right, Ben. If you really want to like really break it down and understanding how messed up it is, it's like I think they're going to do like master classes in it in the future about how absolutely messed up it is, just like Angela and I were talking about last night when we were falling asleep, because we were like talking about the process of aging and getting older, and how seems like everyone is trying to avoid it at all costs. And I get it. There's like a thing with that since the beginning of time, right? Aging and getting older and death and all of those things are like heavy, and there's a lot to it, and in your brain thinking about it and seeing it on your body's aging. But like this constant, like absolute fight against it, even though it's going to happen, is becoming so intense because you're seeing it happen in younger people now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like people that are like in their late 20s are now like, I have weird to not age, like I have, it's like, there's no more beauty in that. There's no more like wisdom and seeing someone that's older and gone through it, and like not just physical, but just all of it. You got to stay like young and like this vibe of like, we're just, I don't know, it's all around us and it's constant. And it's like, you open your phone, you look at your TV, like, the other night I was like watching basketball and the commercials. I think did I already talk about this? How I literally felt like I was out of like a movie from like the 60s where they would show like, and here's the future. And I was like laying in bed and just getting pummeled with like AI or anti-aging or soda or alcohol or food that's so bad for you, and like credit cards.
In a Black Mirror episode, basically.
It's just all, dude, exactly. I like clicked with me. I was like, this is crazy. And then you go outside, dude. I got someone to add to this too, all over the place, but like there's just so much. It's like you go outside and like the wind blows and it's beautiful out, and you have people in your life, and it's like it's so funny that everything seems to be like distracting you from what's actually happening, and it's beautiful, and there's so many things, but instead we get so worked up and caught up and buying or getting the right thing or doing this right thing, and it's like it just becomes, it's like no wonder there's like so much people, like it's just anxiety ridden and stress and chaos and that feeling. And it's like whoever the man is, it's like the distraction of actual beauty is crazy to me, like if we could just stop doing that for like a little bit,
Yeah.
I think it would be
I'm with
amazing
you.
to see
I'm
what
not
is there.
hopeful
So
that's going to
anyway,
happen,
that's
but I'm with
a
you.
long. I know, but I mean, all I could do is do it for myself. Like I've said this to y'all, I deleted all my news app. I don't bury my head in the sand, but I deleted news apps during
Yeah.
COVID. I think we talked about it with Kenny, and like just because you realize like all these places, these news apps, these things, they're all businesses and they're all trying to stay alive, and all they need is you
They
to
need
click
your
their
eyeballs.
thing.
That's
And the
really
more
it.
people that can click the thing, how do you stay relevant? How are you wearing the right things? Are you keeping up with the trends? Like it's like the commercials aren't saying this, but in a roundabout way, they're like, don't get made fun of or laughed at in public by wearing these things. You know what I mean? It's like that's the takeaway that I get it when I was like, don't, if you wear the wrong things, it's gonna be a tough go for you. But if you wear these things, you're gonna be accepted, and you're gonna be seen as beautiful, and you're gonna be seen as doing the right things, and like it's just sold to us at all times, So anyway,
no, I was just to say I just worry about with my kids growing up in this age, and
of course,
yeah, definitely.
That's got to be. I just we grew up in like a generation where we straddled both worlds. Like we
correct.
know before,
We're like
we
the
know
last
after.
generation of that. Remember
and so we
before?
have at least the memory of what it used to be, and maybe level-headedness of how to approach being on social media or the internet age. But our kids don't, and they're going to grow up knowing this is what it is. They're not going to know any different. And yeah, I just worry about like how to approach that in a healthy way, because of course my kids are going to get an iPhone or some smartphone at a certain point, but how do you delay that, or at least help them understand to balance it in a healthy way? But yeah, I guess.
Dude, I agree. I agree. 100%.
But it's also like we I feel like in a sense we, even if it wasn't technologically like that, we still dealt with a lot of stuff they're dealing with now. It's
social
just more
pressure.
It's just more apparent. It's more apparent. It's more in your face than it was when we were growing up. But it's kind of crazy when, I think the example of that and the takeaway is it's a condensed version of what we dealt with. And I think that is hard to deal with, because we were able to find our, make our way through life as we were younger, and like it just wasn't as crazy, like we didn't always have it, like, and now it's just like always there. It's always on. It's never turned off. So that's the thing I think that a lot of people deal with. They can't. It's learning how to deal with that. But I don't think we were ever built to deal with that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my whole point of going back to like the world and beauty and like outside and nature and so many things, but it's like the distraction of it for this, being able to like get everything updated to you at all times. And I saw this thing the other day too, which is funny. I saw it on my phone, of course, as I'm talking about how bad it is. But like it was a quote that was like, or basically saying like the perception of like, but it's connectivity and freedom, and there's you're seeing this, but it's like an illusion of that. You know what I mean? Because you're not actually, you're just so focused.
There are
on
some benefits. I think net negative.
Of course.
Yeah,
the net is net. Yes, we've always
you look at these tech executives. They at social media companies, they don't let their kids use this stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
They openly say
no, because they know it's used
it's meant to be addicting.
It's
addictive.
It is, and I mean, and we all have to fight against. I have to fight against it too. It's like even when I deleted all that stuff, like I was still like, I would follow fashion stuff and things that, and then I would find myself being like, shit, I can't afford that, and like, oh, I can't look that cool because of this, and what if I, it's like you just start to do that forever, and it's like. And I think you're right, Ben, is we had that stuff when we were younger to some extent. Like, we still had TV, we still had movies, like we still had things out there, but like
not like this though.
It's just so different.
I mean, even for us, though, you think about it, even for us as adults, and we didn't have it. We experienced it too. We're just we're just
Do you
slightly
guys-
older.
Yeah.
We've lived a little longer, so I think it's easier for us to sort of cope with things. But yeah,
And we know how to like
Do you guys
recognize
remember
it.
the pressure of the top 8 on MySpace, and you'd have people ask why they're not on your top
Yep.
8, and
yeah. I
there's
wish
this
that
whole
pressure.
thing.
I wish that was the only pressure I had to deal with
100%.
right now because I kind of miss it.
I was about to say that sounds like or just like the right music, picking the right music for when you
Exactly.
go to your account. It's like, dude, if you pick
Or
the
you
I thought
right
I was a
song, you
coder
toast,
during
dude. People
that
be like,
era,
oh.
you know.
Yeah, me too.
Or you would, it's funny. That's like a lot of. Before we get away from that thing, though, a thing that I kind of use to remind myself that none of this matters is, I think about space, and it can also spiral me out, obviously too, because it's like that's nutty too. But
As
you
we're
think about it,
floating on
it's
a
the
like,
biggest
rock.
thing.
yeah, really, at the end of the day, it's like you literally we are just specks of sand in like in
Dude.
such a bigger thing. Like, dude, none of this matters. It really I mean, like things matter, obviously, but yeah, it all matters.
Hey, none of it
It
does,
all
but it
matters.
all
I
does.
think.
too,
I
at the
think,
same
correct.
time.
Yeah,
I think that's where it's been, because I agree with you. Where you're like, when you zoom out. I mean, it'll even hit me when I like go to the airport and there's just so many people, or like a
Yeah.
football game. There's 70,000 people, like just right here, and I'm one out of this sea of people. And this is just in my city, in one area. There are so many people, and it's like so when you have those things where you're like so, micro zoomed into your stuff, it's like it takes away from recognizing, I think, the fact that you said none of it matters, and that it's also, it's like it's so important because it's such a short. It's like, I hate to be like, you've heard it your whole life. It's like life's short. And it's like, I saw another quote the other day that was like, it's not that life's short. It's just that we spend the majority of our time doing dumb shit, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme, we have this time, and it's like, what are we doing? And it's like, it's so easy to just spiral or get caught up in all these things. And again, the other night, my half awake brain, I had this moment because we talk about imposter syndrome all the time, right? Like, it's just, that will be there forever. I think it's like, even if you work against it, it's still going to be a tough thing. But like, just this feeling of like, when the rules started, what was the level of success, or how did you gauge it? What was the level of a good drummer? What was the level of all of these things? And you put yourself up against all that, but you think about what led to that, who decided all that, what's the right number of money to have, what's the right salary to have, all these things. And it's like, we just wait for those things to line up before we enjoy life, or before we become happy, before we try and find peace. And until those things happen, and then it's all over.
Then you have it.
You know what I
then
mean?
you
It's
realize
like,
it
I hate to
wasn't
say it.
all it was cracked up to be. You want
Then there's
more.
something else. You need more, or once I just get this house, or once I just get this thing. And I know this is like a trillion people are saying this right now, so we're not like some new like self-help podcast. But I do think that people follow bands and follow drummers and follow us, and there is this thing of like, they look at it and they're like, oh, but that's so sick, or like they get to do this, and like, and I agree with all of those sentiments, that like, it is insane, even just doing this kind of stuff, having a podcast, the fact that anyone cares or listens. So it's like, to me, not, and feeling okay about where you're
Which
at
is
and
difficult.
feeling peaceful, I think is like the thing that I thought about. It is so difficult because you have imposter syndrome, and I'm like, dude, I have kids. I should have this dialed more. I should never.
Yeah,
I
but
should
listen to yourself right now. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
just do that.
That we all do this. It's like it's dude. Every day is.
Yeah. It's like, but you have to like, my new thing is now is like waking up and going so hard against that. I'm like, how do I fight against that and recognize one day at a time, and how absolutely beautiful and awesome it could be. And it's like, I have to like almost comically go so far the other side to make it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I'm starting to be like, the wind blows, and I'm like, dude, that was beautiful. Like, I'm getting so quote unquote hippie, because I think I have to be, because I'm like, if we're not doing that, we're flying through space. You know what I mean? We are specks. It's like, if we're not taking those times to just be like, oh my gosh, this is absurd. This is beautiful. Everything matters and nothing matters. Like, the smell, like a good day should be recognized as like the biggest thing. Why not do that? Why not live like we watch all these movies and we're like, oh my gosh, like look at how cool that is, or like, dude, do you put the right music behind them? Like, dude, if you wanted to put the right music in slow mo behind your life at any given moment, you could watch it and get teary eyed because it feels like a movie. If you try and live your life where you feel like you live in a movie, I've been doing that as like an exercise. And again, there's people that are like, yo, my life sucks. And there's a lot of bad shit that's happened to me. And I fully agree. Like, cool, man. Like, circumstance, things are going to happen. People get sick, people die, like tragedy happens. That's all the time. You can't avoid aging. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. So instead of stressing and doing everything you can to like not allow anything to happen, you got to live in a way where when you have those moments, not even days, like today was a great day, I start to be like, dude, what a great hour. You know what I mean? Because it's like you kind of have to, and then it trains you slowly. It starts to get easier because inevitably awful things will happen. And that sounds heavy, but it's made me like recognize small beauties more and more and more because you're not so focused on like the world's ending, everything's awful, like this country sucks. Like all of these things are true and do exist.
No, you're right. You got to train your mind to think the positive side of things and not the negative.
Like, Reed, I'm watching your thing. I'm watching the sun come up behind Reed in
San Francisco,
why is it LA? Okay. It's like there's just San Francisco. My bad. Ben, I knew that was
no. Yo, I can't wait till you start listening to Fish and Grateful Dead and you really go full.
I know, dude. I sound this way, right?
Dude, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because I think I think you need to also recognize, from outside in, like you're on your journey, but like obviously me and Reed, we hear you talking about these things. It's cool to see it. It's cool to see somebody, making an effort to do that because it's very hard to practice what you preach. You know what I mean? Like it's like. Not every day is easy. Not everything is easy. But I'm saying, but it's
that's why you said moment by moment. You have a good hour.
That's what I mean.
And something happens, it throws everything out of whack, and you have to kind of intentionally bring yourself back to.
It's hard. It's fucking hard, man. It's fucking hard. Yeah. That shit is hard.
Yeah, dude. And I think that's my point. Is like, and I think people could also look and be like, yeah, easy to say, says the dude that's like married, 3 kids, like, like you're living, I don't know. It's just so the internet or whatever it is. And you've decided that of course it's easy for like me or you or whatever to have those good things. You know what I mean? To be like, dude, you play in a band. Like I'd be easy for me to recognize when the breeze is nice too, if that was my life, right? Like I work and I do the same thing over and over and over. So I meaning, but things are going, that's how it's going to feel forever for everyone. The next person has got it sorted out. But I'm saying, and without getting too deep on here, because whatever, but like the shit that Angela and I went through with like in still battle with her health and things that like, there were moments where I was like, I will never be out of this ever. And it was truly like terrifying and scary and years and years and years of nothing. And it's like, but we found peace during that, which is why it's all now it's like not easier, but we already practiced that. You know what I mean? Because it's not like I just hit this spot now because I'm like, things are good. It's like, you got to find those, like, even when the day's shit, you find moments. I do recognize that, again, almost being 40, it's like it's hard to hit those spots when you're in your like early 20s or in your teens because you haven't experienced, some people, are born into chaos and awful. And I think I also have to recognize that. And I realize things that are so out of our control, that where we're at and things that have just happened, it's like, it's such a disservice to it to not recognize it and to find things to just always be upset about, or be like, well, once this works out, or like if my band was bigger and our guarantees were bigger, if I didn't have this, you know what I mean? Like I've seen band dudes do that all the time. I'm like, dude, you're in the 0.5% of the world that gets to do what you do for a living and to play in front of people and play music, but somehow you still are so upset.
it doesn't really matter what you do. Everyone has struggles. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? So like, it's like, I think it's a matter of
100%. And
I mean, yeah, it's tough finding the simple, you know, it's a beautiful way of putting it. Yeah.
To me is like simple life, dude. You think more things, more money, more whatever, less aging, less this,
more drums.
It's not that, dude.
More drums.
It is figuring out. More drums, more cymbals. Yeah,
well, that's another.
We got to work on drums.
Trying, guys. I was trying
self-help podcast. Or good job. More drumsticks. You get more drumsticks, you get happy.
None of that really matters unless you really, you know, make an effort to like understand the simplicity of life and like really find the beauty in life.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like I think that's
and find the
most important thing.
Yeah.
This ride is short, man. This on this crazy ass rock. Just
it is, and it's like, again, this is my point about like this. It could be seen as like a dark thing, but like you don't know what's on the other side of not only like next year, but like I said before, you don't know what's going to happen later today. So it's like, yeah, and that sounds heavy, and it's like you could stress about that, or you could just be like, you know, but just live and be recognized when things are good, even for a second, you know, just being like, oh man.
I got to preface with if you are feeling kind of wild right now, and this right here, just talking to you dudes and just having this helps a lot. So if you like, I'm not like, obviously we're not turning this into like a self-help thing, but like if you are like feeling kind of heavy, you just talk to people, dude. This
true.
We talk about all the time where like this helps us. You know what I mean? Just this. And I think if this is important, and I think if you're connecting with what we're talking about right now, I think it's important to, you know, recognize it. And if you got to talk to a friend, talk to like a family member, it's like this helps a lot. Like if you're spinning out,
yeah,
you know,
insulating yourself is not going to help. And I think COVID really just drove that.
Yeah, definitely. 100%
hyperdrive. Like it's crazy.
So
big time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And there's people that it's like funny because it's like the moment like any one of my homies or even someone I'm not super close to like opens up or even asks for help or wants to talk, dude, I'm psyched. Meaning like not that they're in a tough spot, but like I want like, and I think more people would feel that same way. You know what I mean? And the people that also have dedicated their lives to helping people and actually talking to people that are strangers, they feel the same. They want to talk to you. They want that conversation and this feeling of that, I think is way more prevalent in so many people than we realize. So I do think that you're right, Ben.
Speak up.
Just
speak up, dude.
Find someone, you know? But I think you're right. Like, the more I talk about stuff too, the better I feel. Even to reckon, like I've been doing that. I was like telling Angel, I was like, "Am I driving you crazy?" Because I'll be like, just constantly these days, just like, "Oh, dude, that song." Do you ever think about how like crazy it is that we get to hear that song at this moment?
Cool though.
Like, I get so hippie, and I'm like, but it's like you got to, because then you just
dude, like, holding it in. I'm guilty of it, dude. Holding it in and just like keeping it to yourself isn't.
Well, it's so easy to just go through life and be like, I should be making more money. I should have better savings. I should not be in as much debt. And then so you're like, what can I like? I got to get through that before I can like, but like, I'll just sit around and just be like, dude, I have people in my life that care about me. Even if that was a much smaller number, that still is such a crazy, beautiful thing. And you have to like,
no, it's a beautiful, I'm glad I didn't expect that this was going to be the pod, but
me neither. Reed's like, I'm too tired for this shit.
Yeah, Reed's like, I don't know.
I'm barely awake, and y'all are like, I've had a full pot of coffee. I'm ready to rip. I'm like, been awake.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing too. That's another way of dealing with, dealing with this insanity, dude. I mean, also the funny thing is about all this stuff is that there's a lot of good shit too. You know what I mean? Like let's not just focus on the craziness.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're focused. I think because I think here's my point.
We're talking about getting away from the distractions of things. Oh.
Surprise, dude.
Oh my god, dude!
Hello.
Just,
It's actually, I
just
was
there
thinking,
he
I was
is.
wondering
He's
if you
like-
were going to come
he's
on,
like-
Lou. I didn't know.
Where are you at, Reed?
I'm in a hotel in San Francisco.
San Fran.
Love
for
it.
work. It's
Dude, a fog hat shirt.
5:52 here.
Yeah, dude. We were like, can we do one this week? And
Dude.
Reed's like, he took one for the team. He's like, I'll get up at 5 a.m. for this podcast.
And I promise I won't take it. I won't take it.
Also,
Yeah, you're like
look
so blurred
at
out.
look at how professional Lou looks right
This is
now.
the first
This
time
is
you're
the first
sitting
time.
still
Look at
somewhere.
him, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, look at him drinking water.
Is this AI?
You're-
I'm right
oh,
there.
God,
What's going on, dude? Yeah.
Lou, new man.
Yeah, it's I'm rebranding currently.
Wait. Okay. So we haven't done it in a while. What's a hot take? You got anything going on?
Oh
Yeah, I
wow!
know.
What is my hot?
Yes.
I
Oh,
forgot that they're a hot take.
oh
What
no!
is your hot
what,
take today?
What is
What-
Lou's hot take?
What was my hot take? I felt like I was spewing a lot of hot takes yesterday.
It's like yeah.
I don't know. Let me look at my notes. I do have
do you
notes
write down
on
hot takes?
I started
Yes.
writing some. Is that
No,
annoying?
I love it.
Is that
no,
lame?
actually,
say-
me and Reed were talking about this. It's funny when somebody asks for a suggestion in the city, and you're just like, you know, mad spots, but then like you just draw a blank. You're like, yeah, it goes blank, and you're
your mind goes blank.
It goes fully
Yeah.
blank. And also, no one ever takes the suggestion. It's like, hey, it's like it's like, hey, where should I get dinner? And I'm like, oh, there's an amazing place called Ruby Rosa over on Mott Street. Like, it's amazing. You're gonna love it.
And they're like,
No,
we're good.
they're
We're
like,
gonna
yeah,
check
and then
Yelp.
they end up at like, I don't know, Sbarro or something insane.
Wait. So on that, do you feel I feel obligated because if someone suggests something, I reach out, I ask, they suggest, and I'm like, I don't know if that's really what I would pick, but they suggested it, and I feel kind of like an asshole if I don't go, so I do go.
And is it ever good?
And then you're bummed.
Sometimes it is actually, but
now,
usually
now Reed,
no.
you saying this, I'm never going to suggest anything to you again. 'Cause-
I
Reed's
do
gonna
want
feel
the
obligated to
suggestions.
go be
I just,
bummed.
sometimes it's too
you-
far away. You just can't make the time. I
You
don't
know
know.
what?
For me,
Yeah, if
for
someone's
me,
like,
it's
you
tough because
gotta
I'm
go here.
here working, and it's usually busy during the day, so I only have so much time to actually carve out and explore stuff. But anyway,
I feel like there's some really good tiki bars in San
There is.
Francisco.
yes, one of the
Right?
best, Smuggler's Cove.
So I am allergic to wood. I don't know if you guys know that. There's like a certain type of wood I'm allergic to.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
which
I
kind?
like I
Which
legit.
kind?
It's the one I'm like the most
You know,
sensitive
there's no
to.
wood in tiki drinks, though, right?
Well, I'm going somewhere with this, Reed. I've
The
actually,
main ingredient.
I actually will
Bark.
just break out everywhere with like in hives. I was like, what is happening? So I did this like allergy test, and they're like, you're allergic to certain types of wood. I'm like, oh, if I would like went on a hike, could I maybe die? They go, yes, you may need an EpiPen. I'm like, what? It was like a big thing. Anyway, fast forward.
Hold on. When did you find this
Ready?
out? In
I
life?
found this
Need-
out probably about a decade ago.
Damn, you're just bringing this
Okay,
up.
keep
You're
going.
just bringing this
Wow.
up, dude. What is?
Yeah, I did name a Gasoline Heart album called Allergic to Wood.
Shit.
But anyway, so I go to this tiki bar in San Francisco, and the place is dope, and we're having these drinks, and all of a sudden I realize I am just hiving up everywhere. And then I
There's a lot
realized
of wood. It's the Smuggler's
all-
Cove, wasn't it?
it was Smuggler's Cove. That is
You
it.
walk
That's
in,
the-
and it's like a small little bar, but they have
Yes.
a downstairs area too.
that was it. That's the
Holy
place.
shit!
And like all the tables were, and all of a sudden I'm drunk and having this crazy allergic reaction. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what am I don't know what's happening. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm there. I was with, it was when Squad 5 was doing like their reunion shows in California, like a while ago. And so I don't
Yeah.
have like my own hotel. I'm like tagging along with them. I don't have a vehicle, and I'm just outside drunk, all hived up. No
Hived
EpiPen.
up,
Yes.
up is.
Oh my
I'm
god!
hived up.
That's scary,
Is
man.
is this when you
I
knew
did
you were
know.
allergic
Yes,
to
I
wood?
did know then. Because
Okay, so
Correct,
you
I
weren't
recognized
confused on
it.
what it was.
Lou, what kind of wood is it? What's the? Is it like
It's
oak,
the-
maple? Like what?
it is.
Oak.
It's
No
oak.
way.
It's mostly oak. Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of weird because I'm like being like super heady right now. Not right now, just in general the last
right
couple weeks.
now.
And I was thinking,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about this allergy because the way it happened was I was like a little bit allergic to it, right? So what happened was what we like realized, because I know everyone is riveted by this conversation.
I'm riveted, so yeah.
Just
I have too.
carrying all of
Our fan.
Gabe is really going to be into this. But carrying all like the furniture from Blue Moves You, like it just wore down my immune system, like little by little. Years of carrying this terrible furniture.
Crazy.
That then my immune system broke down.
Do you actually think that's it though? Do you think moving made you allergic to oak? That's insane.
100%. Yeah.
Well, that's like the same thing. Me allergic to green coffee. It got worse and worse and worse to where I couldn't do it.
What happened with green coffee?
Because I'm super allergic to it. Like, so the dust, it's like green coffee when you're roasting it. I was like early on, I was just doing it so much, stuck in this tiny little space roasting it. And then it started to like affect me. And I get like kind of like, like feeling kind of allergic, the classic like stuffy nose. And then it got to a spot where crazy hives, nose would bleed. Like, so I was towards the end, I was wearing before COVID started. I was set, dude. I had like a crazy mask. So when COVID hit, I was like, I'm sorted. Like, I bought one of those like
looking like
rubber gloves
like
and long sleeves
shit.
to roast coffee. Bane.
Let's go.
I look like Bane.
Yeah, it is weird.
So I literally do like a month before COVID hit, I was posting photos on my stories just like this with like masked up and wearing rubber gloves. And even then it would still bother me. But yeah, so it got worse and worse and worse. And now if I'm even like in the roast space or like a coffee shop, it's like, we roast here. I'll be in there for like 20 minutes and I'll start. Yeah, I'm like, get me out. Coughing up blood.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's sacrifice, weird. Dude. I'm glad you did it because anyway, I mean, when you were roasting
your body,
I enjoyed it. So I appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, dude.
Of course, dude.
Dude, I've been going to that Say a lot that you brought me to, man.
Say's the best.
Yeah.
What is it? Coffee shop in Bushwick.
SEY Say coffee.
It's top 5 for me, I think.
It's tops for sure.
It's really good. It's funny because it's right by my old apartment when I first moved to New York in 2010. And Ben's like, I want to go here. I'm like, it's right by my old place. How have I never gone here?
Yeah, but you're a Dunkin' guy. You're a Dunkin' guy. So like, I feel like you. What do you order when you go to Say? I guess is
iced coffee. I'm just doing iced coffee.
You like it though.
I enjoy it.
You recognize
my favorite. I probably don't recognize my favorite thing about Dunkin' Donuts is I like being inside of Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not like getting a donut, but I like all the people that work there, and they're all probably living in one house, and they spent all this money to buy this Dunkin' chain, and they're like all happy and stoked, and like
there's like a romance to it.
There is, and then I like the $50 cup place. It's like they're just talking so much. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm here. And then like Say I like it. It's like,
wait, do you have a hot take though, Lou? We actually haven't hit that.
I don't have a hot take, unfortunately. I guess my hot take, I felt like I had a good hot take last night. I was talking about how you have to only hang out with people that you don't really like. That way, if you stop hanging out with them, it's really not that bad. And when you're hanging out with somebody that you don't like that much, then most likely you're going to be a little bit more yourself because you're hanging out with them. Because you don't really like them. Like the people you really like, you're probably a different version of yourself around them because you like them so much.
Power move. I like this. This is like you're setting. Dude, if you heard the last 45 minutes of what we were talking about, though, this plays so funny into what.
This is perfect.
So deep,
really
dude.
Does. We got so like deep
and Lou's like,
and then we switch over to like,
what
you know what you need to do is this what you hang out with us, Lou?
Lou comes on here and he's like, just hang out with people you don't like. Just
hang out with people you don't like, so when you leave, you don't feel bad.
No, you're right. There is something to be like being around people you don't find commonality with or like you don't like, and you can just kind of be more yourself.
I'm not saying that you actually actively dislike, even though I kind of like hanging out with people that I actively dislike.
Do you mean just like you're not like there's not a common ground necessarily?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're not like best or you're like best friends.
Right? Like the people that you kind of are just like zhuzhing with it over like bullshit is like, then you can kind of be yourself. Cause like,
sure.
I don't know. I mean, Does that make any
Yeah.
sense? That
Makes
was my
total
hot
sense.
take last night. I was
Sick
like, you have to
balance.
hang out with people you don't
Yeah.
like. Yeah, it's powerful.
I think there's those groups that is fun. Like, not that you exclusively hang out with people you don't like love, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I think that's why tour is kind of, to some people, is almost like addicting, because you meet these new bands and you're like, they're whatever,
'Cause
but
it's
it's
like
like
for a
fun
month.
to hang heavy with.
Yeah, I'll
them
never
because
see you
you're like,
again. Yeah,
after
yeah,
this
yeah.
tour, I'll never see you again. Probably. I don't care enough about you to stay in touch, but we could absolutely.
Yeah, but it's like a weird fling with somebody. You're like, and then you see them 10 years later, and you're like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I remember when we did
Hung
we
out
did that
every day.
thing? Remember when we did that thing?
Yeah,
Hey,
spend
what's your
every
yeah,
day for a
don't
month
we know
together.
each other? What?
That's why tour, man. That's what I did. That's what I did to Kenny last week when I saw him. I was like, dude, we toured together. He's like, no, we didn't. I was like, all right.
Didn't you
later.
like start the pod with that too? You're like,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. I said that. I was like, dude, our first interaction together was so good.
He's like, I don't
he
know
was
you.
so cool about it and so nice about it. But I went in hot. I was like, yeah, dude, Monique, we toured together. He's like,
I can
Nope.
picture him just saying
and I was
no.
like, are you sure? And he was like, no, we never toured together. I was like, all right. Well, I thought we did. And
Where
I
did
thought we'd
you
bond over
where did
that,
you have
but
this
I guess,
interaction, Nate? Was it
never
at a
mind.
Say Anything show that I was playing at?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
bringing
was at
cross
one of
wires.
those.
funny.
I came,
Braden's
I
like,
came to see you, and I was like, dude, what's up? I think I remember that the band I thought we toured. There was a band called
Oh, so it
Melee.
actually wasn't.
no,
Say
I
what,
Anything,
thought
it
you
wasn't
just
even
invented
it wasn't even Kenny.
No,
Yeah.
no, I thought I
Okay.
toured with Monine, which was his old band, and I was like, dude, we
Starts
toured
with an
together.
M.
I think I was
Yeah.
thinking of the band Melee, but it's also funny that like you
Yeah,
should
dude.
remember if you tour with someone for like a month, and I was like, dude, we toured with your band. He's like, no, we
something
didn't.
kind of funny
Okay.
happened to me recently. I promise I'm not going to make it weird, but I ended up randomly hanging out with JB from To Write Love on Her Arms. And for years, I thought he was the person that I met Eddie Vedder with the first time. And I'd always like sometimes get drunk and message him or something like, dude, that was so sick. You hooked me up. Like, 'cause in my head, I was with him.
And he never
And
told
he
you
goes,
that it wasn't him.
recently, I had to just tell you, dude, that wasn't me. And I was like, what do you mean it wasn't you? He goes, that was Mark. That was my really good friend. That wasn't me. I was like, it wasn't? I'm like, all these years, I thought it was you that got me the backstage pass and got me on the guest list with Kelly Slater. And I'm like, you really
Dude.
could have just taken that win. And and he's like, he's like,
Taking the
he
win.
didn't take the win. Yeah.
Oh,
That was-
speaking of
God, dude, stuff
We're
like
mixing
that's
up
so
stuff.
funny. Like stories
I have
and
to say
perceptions and all
something.
that.
Can I say something? Because I want to clear the air. So I was talking about playing Say Anything shows in a few months and filling in for Mike Robinson. I
Yeah.
said Mike
Oh
Robinson.
yeah, this has been
And then I know a Mike Robertson, so I freaked out. I was like, did I get his last name wrong? And then I corrected to the wrong name. So Mike Robinson, I'm so sorry. I love you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I
love
mixed up
this.
your
A public
name.
apology for Reed.
I felt so bad.
Reed
I texted
hasn't
him
been
right
able to
after. I was
sleep.
like, just so you know, there's going to be an episode. I totally just mess up your
Mike
last name.
messaged me.
I'm
On,
so
Mike
sorry.
messaged
But
me on Instagram, and he's like, dude, how can you let your
Our
boy mess up my
listener.
last name? He's like, that's not. He's like, it's not cool. He's like, also, he's dead to me, and also, he's not
like,
playing
he's
the
dead to me.
shows. He's
not gonna
I
play
know.
those shows.
Yeah. I knew something would happen.
He's like, what are you doing
knew
those
something
dates,
would
Ben?
happen.
He's like, Ben, what are you doing? Do you know Say Anything songs?
Are you playing those shows?
he's playing
Reed?
like a handful of shows. Yeah,
I am. It's I'll be up in Jersey,
Yeah, he's filling in for
Long
Michael
Island,
Robertson.
Jersey, and Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, there we go. Allentown. Jimmy Story out
oh
in
yeah,
Allentown.
Allentown.
Oh,
yeah.
is he?
I'll go
Dude,
to
I
that Long
love
Island
it.
show.
You should
Fuck
come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
sing a
Yeah,
song.
hell
I'm
dude.
yeah.
down.
Lou, did you figure out how to get on
Yeah, I
our
was
tour
trying to
yet, or
figure
what?
out how am I going to
As
do
long as
it.
there's no
I gotta
oak,
just-
as long as there's no oak on the tour, he's good, dude.
Just
No
tell
oak.
Seth.
No, oh,
Also,
who is on
wait,
that
to put
tour?
it, I know Reed wants to
Tell
go like
Seth.
work out
Buddy.
and stuff. I gotta, Lou, did you wear girls' jeans back in the day?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. The
course.
low-rise Lucky Brand
Yeah.
jeans, bro. I'm pretty sure it was
1-inch zipper,
Yeah,
1-inch
yes,
zipper.
Yeah, we
Lucky
all
Brand with
did,
the
huh?
pocket with the
I'm
horseshoe.
pretty sure I was like a size 10. That was it.
Dude, we were just talking about that. I was like, I didn't know my size in normal jean or in like men's jeans for so long. I just knew women's sizes. I'd be like, I think I'm a this. Like, I don't know. Like, they'd be like, what are you like a 33, 30, whatever? And
Dude,
I'm like,
what's
I don't know, like
what's
a
funny
5.
too is like no one had butts,
Whatever.
so it was like
Whatever
it
it
was just
was.
like a weird flat
Yes.
surface. It was just like didn't make sense.
Yeah, because how you'd wear them,
It
because
was
the
not
crotch was this
flattering.
big, so dude, that's you'd lift up your
I'm
shirt.
pretty
and it just
sure
stayed on straight.
okay, I have some unhealthy eating habits. I understand this, but I think the girls' jeans is what turned me into a pear because they're so tight, and then it just eventually just came up, and this is what I look like. Just that. It's just like
That's what it was.
There it
Oh
is.
my God.
It just
There it
pushed
is.
everything up.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it
showing
pushed it
us.
all up. It makes sense.
It's the girl jeans fault, dude. You just squeezed it all in there, and
Had
then
to
it
go
had to go
somewhere.
somewhere.
You should start wearing them again while you're
Yeah.
moving. Like
I should. I'm like in a size 24. I'm at the fashion bug with like a. It's like
Oh,
the
God.
yeah. Did you wear girls' jeans? I can't imagine
everyone
Ben wears
did.
girls'
We
jeans.
talked about it earlier. Yeah, I mean that's why
All
it's like
did.
a
Of course we
callback. We all did, definitely. Everyone did. I think
And then it transitioned. It went
100%.
from girls' jeans to like real expensive jeans.
I never had expensive.
Remember when
Diesel?
people-
Remember Diesel?
Remember when
and, like,
people would be like,
Diesel.
and it would have like some
Diesel.
sort of dragon embroidery on the ass, and it
Those
was
are
like,
bad.
and it was like, oh, I got those jeans for $650 or something insane. I just remember like they had like the real thick stitch on the
Dude.
You remember, you know what
I
I'm
always
talking about?
stuck with Levi's. I just couldn't. I
Well,
couldn't
there's like Lucky. Remember
talk
Lucky?
myself into spending
I love it,
money
Reed.
for
Lucky.
diesel
Good for
jeans
you.
or raw
Lucky
denim.
Raw
brand,
denim was
True
a big
Religion,
I worked at
Did you work in
Diesel.
Lucky?
I worked at Lucky Brand Jeans, and I felt
Cool.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Thick.
I consistently won most sales every month, and
I could
worked,
see that.
Of course you did.
and I
It's not
worked part
shocking.
time. I was so good at it that they didn't make me. I didn't have to fold any of the clothes or do inventory. They're like, we just let
Dude,
Lewis
that's
sell.
the
Wait,
dream.
Lou. Before we end, also just so everyone knows, Lou was like best sandwich maker ever at Subway. He
I'll send you.
yeah he
Subway.
Not sandwich maker, Ben. It was employee. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
all encompassing. I wasn't just making sandwiches.
I'm sorry.
I was holding.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's
a
apologize.
justice
I
sandwich
apologize,
artist.
dude.
No need
Okay,
to
all right,
apologize.
all right.
I was bringing the brand
No
up.
need to apologize, but I
Yeah.
was
Just
the
clearing
best.
the air. Yeah.
I am the best.
Before we leave, Lou, what's the best? What's the
Listening.
best sandwich at Subway?
Ooh, great question. I'm going to tell you what this. Does it have to be what's pre-made or what I would make?
Remade? What is that? I thought.
Do
I
both.
pre-made being
like a menu
Oh,
staple.
no. Yeah,
He
you can
means
do
like you
secret
just
menu.
pick
Yeah,
something
do
on
your
the
thing.
menu.
What-
It's not even secret. I would do. This is what I'm going. I'm going. You got to get the. And this is old school Subway. I don't know what it's like now. The bread.
Start with the
I'm going to
bread.
go the
though.
Asiago cheese
Okay,
bread.
all right, let's
right?
go.
Got it?
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm going to
dude.
go standard. I'm going to go yellow American
Wow.
cheese, which I
Okay.
think yellow
Yellow,
American
got
cheese
it.
gets a bad rap. It is good.
Oh yeah.
It's the best.
Let's do some
It's the
turkey.
best.
Let's do some bacon. Then let's do some onions and green peppers on there. Pop that fucker in the toaster. Bring it out. We're going to do some no lettuce.
Lettuce.
No lettuce.
No. I'm
no
not
lettuce.
I'm
Whoa.
doing- Just
I
'cause
hate
of
this
lettuce.
sandwich
You
already.
hate it?
No, you.
No.
Oh, you
No,
don't-
you
I
just
don't think
let's
it's about
Hey, let's
pepperoni.
pump the brakes real quick. I want to air something out real quick. Nate likes
Yeah.
undercooked bacon. Let's move forward.
He likes
He
flaccid
likes
bacon.
like it's like barely
Yeah.
cooked. Like,
I don't like
Lou,
salty.
do you like your
salt
crispy
sticks.
bacon? Do you like crispy
salt
bacon?
sticks? Gross.
Yes, I am a sane human being.
Fuck no.
Can you please?
No,
but you
wrong.
don't like bacon.
Also,
but you don't like
Nate,
bacon.
Crispy
I gotta-
bacon's- I love
but-
bacon. I don't like
How does
bacon
Angela-
on
how does
sandwiches,
Angela
and I
like
don't
it?
like crispy bacon. I like
yeah, let's
very
go. All right,
crispy.
Wifey
House
knows.
divided.
Wifey knows, dude.
I take out my bacon and then I let her cook for
I have a
another
big
20
question.
fucking
How are
minutes.
you eating the bacon with your hands or with a fork?
With my
He's
hands.
just
So, like
ripping it down like a
loose-
noodle.
Like,
and it's kind of wet and oily.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I get it to the perfect thing where you still get like flavor and it doesn't just taste. It doesn't like dissolve in your mouth like dust.
When I think of the baking that they're describing, I'm thinking kind of a flaccid bacon.
Flaccid bacon.
You like a flaccid
bacon.
I like that.
You want it almost like prosciutto.
Yeah.
Oh, almost like prosciutto.
A little chewy.
Oh.
Yeah, but the flavor
Nate's
of bacon.
pissed. Like, you can see it.
The difference is like it's still bacon, but it's like look. I know I'm not the norm here. But I've also figured out that I like almost everything in my life.
Yeah.
Like
undercooked.
Chicken? Like what are you talking about?
I prefer. I mean,
poultry. Just
yeah, I like a medium rare. No, like steak. Eggs, I don't like
I love
any
that too. No, I'm the same way. We're
like overcooked or even remotely.
Yeah, you like over easy. I like over easy.
Steak.
Me too.
I don't like crispy. I don't like anything. I like my toast like barely toasted. I don't like
medium rare.
I like soft
medium
cookies.
rare
I don't like anything
rare.
crunchy.
Oh, I like this. All right,
rare steak. Like if I go to a place that's like I'm like anything that's like tough or overcooked. Like even like this is dumb, but like. I don't like overcooked, like burnt coffee. Like I like anything that I can choose that's like less done.
Cool.
The better.
Do you feel like you bring that to music at all? I'm being serious.
Undercooked? Do you bring undercooked?
I mean,
yeah, like a little bit. Like, are you like, hey, it's too tight?
There's gotta.
He is. Yeah. There you go. That's
I'm behind the beat always.
That's the
so I mean, maybe that
drumming.
is a thing. Like maybe it is like a personality. Like. But like like toast, like if I toast and like pops up, it's like barely toasted and you put it back in, it comes out and it's like
just scrape it off.
I'll throw it away.
On the toaster, like, are you going like a 2? You know how it usually has a number?
Well, my wife and I switch it so much that I like she likes
where's she go? Like 7?
So I'm always if I don't notice. Yeah, if I don't know that it's that way and it pops up and it's too far, she'll eat it and I'll like start over. But yeah, I don't like anything crispy, crunchy.
What about potato chips? Do you like potato chips?
I can't. Yeah, but that's because
I'm just trying to think of other crispy things.
Potato chips. I'm trying to think about things you can choose.
You don't like pepperoni pizza? You don't like pepperoni pizza?
You know what I mean?
Great question.
I do, but I don't like if it's like I don't like if it's super.
So you don't like pizza and you want
like I like it to be
thrown on top after.
I want pizza barely.
So you're not
pizza
into,
barely
you're probably
finished
more of a
as well.
Chicago pizza person than like a Detroit pizza person because Detroit is like all nice and crispy.
Yeah, or even like New York. I like the New York like super droopy. Yeah. If you give me a piece of pizza and it's like this, I'm not eating it.
That's cool, man.
Yes,
yeah, you're a big flop guy. Big flop guy.
Bacon, big cookies. I want to be. I want you to hold a cookie. And it's like falls off. Like crunchy.
It really does
like
go back
where
to
they're
the
like
pills.
All right.
Yes, and that's
a great way to wrap this one.
Does it?
The sun is coming up. The sun is coming up behind Reed. It's 6 a.m.
Yeah. I'm gonna go hit the gym downstairs.
We've covered a lot of. All right,
guys,
this morning.
Love you guys.
This is great.
Lou, thanks for coming on. This was fun.
Love you, man.
I didn't melt down. I was
one.
like, give me another shot.
I like, dude. Before we go, every time you come on, you're like, I'm not gonna fuck this up.
You text us after, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and you keep doing that. We're like, dude, it ruled. Not one time we're
living inside of my head's a goddamn.
Wait till you hear the first half of this.
We talk about that.
What we just talked about.
There we go.
That's what we just talked about before.
Then we're like, let's
recognize.
Let's bring the nightmare on with us.
Well, I love you guys.
All right. Hey.
Have a good day.
No, that's all right.
Love you guys. We did talk about
I'm talking about something
for a second. It's fine.
You're behind the beat.